The old man had just picked a chili pepper in his field when a few drops of black rain suddenly fell from the sky. He instantly sensed that something was wrong, quickly stood up to look around, and realized that not only was it raining black liquid, but the entire sky was now shrouded in a massive dark cloud. The taxi driver had never seen anything like this before. At first, he assumed the black rain was caused by environmental pollution, but soon after, hail began to fall from the sky, and each piece of hail looked eerily like a human face. Even more terrifying, the Guanyin statue in the temple began to shed 2 streams of black tears. It's said that when Guanyin cries, it's a sign of great misfortune. Clearly, a massive disaster was about to strike this small mountain village, and all these strange events seemed to have started with a Buddha statue that had just been unearthed the night before. It turned out that while the villagers were repairing a road on the mountain the previous night, they accidentally dug up a strange Buddha head. Its eyes were covered with a tattered piece of cloth, and the surface was covered in unknown symbols. The monks in the temple warned the village chief not to unearth the Buddha head. According to historical records, it was from the Goryeo period, and anyone who made eye contact with it would experience strange, inexplicable changes in their body. But the village chief's eyes were full of greed. Not only did he order the Buddha head to be dug up, he also planned to use it to develop tourism and make a hefty profit. Seeing that the Buddha's eyes were covered with a piece of gauze, the chief thought it ruined the statue's appearance. Without a second thought, he told the workers to remove it. Unbeknownst to anyone, disaster had already begun to silently approach. The next day, the workers followed the chief's orders and took off the gauze. They then started cleaning the statue when suddenly a crow landed on the Buddha head, cawing non-stop. Crows are considered ominous, so the workers tried to shoo it away with a hose, but the crow refused to leave. At this point, the workers didn't think much of it. They loaded the Buddha head onto a truck to transport it to the village committee. As they were about to turn a corner, they encountered a slow-moving taxi. Without hesitation, the driver of the truck sped past it. At that exact moment, the taxi driver happened to make eye contact with the eyes of the ghost Buddha. In the next instant, the driver's gaze turned eerily unnatural. And just like that, by the afternoon, a once-in-a-century black rain began to pour from the sky, accompanied by hailstones that looked shockingly like human faces. By evening, the workers had successfully delivered the ghost Buddha to the village committee. Exhausted from a long day and the constant rain, one worker decided to stop by a tavern for a drink, but as soon as he sat down, he felt an intense discomfort in his eyes, as if something had gotten into them. The bartender asked what was wrong. Thinking it was just fatigue from driving earlier, the man went to the restroom to wash his eyes. But then something bizarre happened. He suddenly heard a familiar voice behind him. Turning around, he saw his deceased father, who had passed away years ago. The sight terrified him, leaving him frozen in panic. The father began insisting that the man give him money for medical treatment, which completely stunned him. In a frenzy, he rushed out of the restroom. When another patron asked what had happened, he shoved the person to the ground. Then he saw his father again. But this time, the father he saw was actually just the bartender. It was clear that the young man was now under the influence of some invisible force. As the father slowly approached him, he grabbed a nearby bottle and smashed it, unleashing a violent attack on the bartender. Only after the bartender lay motionless on the floor did 2 other patrons manage to restrain him.